Very good evening. You're watching Headlines Now with me, Deepthi. Before we move to all the stories for today in detail, let's have a quick look at the top headlines. 12 people arrested in Sivagasi tragedy that claimed 38 lives. Owner of the factory still missing. Jayalalitha orders probe into the Sivagasi fire as the factory in question shouldn't have even been functioning the day it caught fire. Uproarious scenes witnessed in the Rajya Sabha over the SC/ST bill even as the proceedings are disrupted for the 13th day. Prime Minister's office lashes out at the Post over their recent article on Manmohan Singh, calling it unethical and one-sided. Clashes outside the Odisha Assembly over the Colgate row. IPL team Deccan Chargers up for sale as it invites bids from prospective buyers. And Saurav Ganguly says he is all set to step in the coach's shoes for Team India. News in detail. 12 people have been arrested in connection with the massive fire that broke out yesterday at the firecracker factory near Sivagasi in Tamil Nadu. 38 people have been killed and at least 60 others have been injured in the fire. The police are yet to trace the owner of the factory. He is identified as a man called Murugesan. He is accused number 1 in the case. A search is also on for 6 other contractors. Among the 12 people arrested for the fire at Om Shakti Crackers are 3 contractors, a chemical mixer and a factory lessee, Paul Pandey, who according to the police is accused number 2 in the case. The State Explosives Department had suspended the factory's license on Tuesday and apparently the factory should not have been running operations yesterday. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha ordered a magisterial probe into the devastating fire at the cracker manufacturing unit in Sivagasi, which claimed 39 lives and injured several others. Jayalalitha, who chaired a meeting of senior ministers to chalk out measures to prevent such mishaps in future, said that the district revenue officer would probe into the cause of the incident and functioning of the Om Shakti fireworks factory. Its registration was cancelled a day before the incident. Houses of the Parliament condoled the death of those killed in yesterday's fire in Mudalipeti. Earlier, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh expressed deep shock over the Sivagasi fire tragedy and condoled the deaths. And in his message, Dr. Singh said that he stands with the people of Tamil Nadu in this hour of grief and has conveyed his heartfelt condolences to the members of the bereaved families. The Prime Minister also announced an ex gratia payment of 2 lakh rupees to the next of kin to each of the deceased and 50,000 rupees to those seriously injured in the fire. Police and the fire officials said that the toll may rise as over 200 people are feared trapped in the fireworks factory as firefighters struggle to enter the building of Om Shakti Fireworks. Moving on, uproarious scenes were witnessed in the Rajya Sabha over the bill which provides reservation to SC/STs in job promotions, leaving little scope for the bill to be passed in this monsoon session which ends tomorrow. The bill, which was introduced in the Rajya Sabha yesterday amid commotion and scuffle between members of SP and BSP in the House, could not be taken up even as Prime Minister of State for Personnel V. Narayanaswamy rose to move it for consideration and passage. After the upper house of the Parliament was adjourned for the day, BSP Supremo and former UP Chief Minister Mayawati, in a scathing attack, blamed the Congress for playing a double role on the SC/ST quota bill.
SC/ST के प्रमोशन में आरक्षण संबंधित संवैधानिक संशोधन विधेयक कल की तरह आज भी सदन में हंगामा होने की वजह से पास नहीं हो सका है। यदि केंद्र की सरकार वास्तव में ईमानदारी से इस विधेयक को पास करवाना चाहती है तो सबसे पहले केंद्र की सरकार को हाउस को सुचारू व शांतिमय ढंग से चलवाने के लिए जरूरी ठोस कदम उठाने चाहिए। केंद्र की सरकार को ये चाहिए कि वह इस सत्र की अवधि को 10-12 दिन के लिए और बढ़ाए।
नहीं, एक दिन के लिए एक स्पेशल सेशन बुलाकर इसको पारित कर सकता है। अक्टूबर में बुला सकते हैं, बुलाकर पारित कर सकते हैं, लेकिन माहौल ऐसा नहीं है अभी सदन का कि बहस हो, क्योंकि बीजेपी नहीं चाहता है, कांग्रेस भी नहीं चाहता है बहस हो, बिना बहस से पारित करना चाहते हैं, जो हम नहीं चाहते। हम चाहते हैं सदन चले, सदन में बहस हो। हमने तो 2 मांग रखा है, कैंसिल करो, जुडिशियल इंक्वायरी करो। ये दो मांग है, सरकार मान ले, शायद चलेगा।
The fracas over coal block allocations continued for the 12th day in Parliament as BJP members vociferously demanded the resignation of Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha were adjourned till noon after opposition triggered ruckus on this issue. Members of the DMK, AIADMK, CP and VCK were in the well raising the Sri Lankan issue. DMK members were opposing the training of Sri Lankan armed forces at an airbase in India, while AIADMK and VCK members protested the upcoming visit of Sri Lankan President Rajapaksa to Madhya Pradesh. No Indian fisherman is in Sri Lankan custody and that the government is engaged with the neighbouring nation to ensure that the fisherfolk carry on their livelihood safely. This was SM Krishna's statement, and he said that presently there are no Indian fishermen in Sri Lankan custody on fisheries-related charges. However, some Indian nationals have been arrested in Sri Lankan waters on charges of smuggling narcotics and contrabands. He also said that officials from Indian High Commission in Colombo and Consulate in Jaffna are in regular touch with detained Indian nationals and extended all possible consular and legal assistance to them. Janata Party President Subramania Swamy demanded that the centre issue a direction to Tamil Nadu government to stop interfering in the country's policy on Sri Lanka and also ensure the safety of Sinhalas in the state. He said that President's rules should be imposed in the state of Tamil Nadu if the government fails to follow the directions. Swamy also demanded that the Madhya Pradesh government arrest NDMK chief Vaiko if he protests against Sri Lankan President Rajapaksa's visit to the state later this month. 10 private sector companies will appear before the interministerial group to present their side on why coal block development was delayed. This is part of the 3-day review meeting on coal block allocation scam. Sources say that it is also understood that CBI will target more companies in the coal scam.
The BJP has stated yesterday that the BJP fully supports all the measures for social justice within constitutionally permissible limits. The Congress-led UPA government is trying to sidetrack the stinking corruption against its own malgovernance, which is appearing with alarming regularity. We had said very clearly that we are willing for any discussion immediately if the government shows its bona fide by cancelling 142 coal blocks and also ordering a fair probe without impinging upon our demand for the resignation of the Prime Minister. Now we see even Congress members of Parliament and their state ministers getting involved in this massive coal block shameful scandal and corruption.
Any timeline for production, commencing of production from this particular mine that you have given or that they have sought?
We have we estimate it to be around March 13 after 6 months or so.
And after presentation of the case to the interministerial group, how confident are you that they will actually weigh out this decision?
Oh, I was confident all the time. I mean, I do not know what the committee takes a decision because after all this chaired by, it constitutes very senior people and they will take a view. But I believe that we have given a good presentation and justified the reasons for the delay.
Taking a dig at BJP President Nitin Gadkari into the coal block allocation scam, Union Rural Development Minister Jairam Ramesh alleged that according to Controller and Auditor General report, the BJP-led Chhattisgarh government allocated a coal block to an aide of Gadkari. Ramesh further said that during the BJP-led NDA rule, coal blocks were allocated without advertisements and it was in fact the Congress which changed the process later. Anti-corruption activist Arvind Kejriwal has alleged that companies who were raided earlier this week for landing coalfields by misreporting facts were secretly warned that the CBI investigators would soon be arriving at their homes and offices of executives. Irregularities in the allocation process are an important charge in the coal scandal that has become a huge political crisis, with Parliament more or less paralyzed by the opposition BJP, which says it will not stop noisy disruptions till the Prime Minister accepts responsibility for Coalgate and resigns. Reacting sharply to former Team Anna member Arvind Kejriwal's allegation that the CBI raids on certain coal firms were staged, the Congress party demanded evidence from anti-graft activists. Congress spokesperson Manish Tiwari said that Kejriwal must withdraw his statement if it is bereft of evidence. Jagadampika Pal to dismiss Kejriwal's allegations as trivial, saying that the activist has a habit of making irresponsible statements.
If at all the person who has articulated such an averment has evidence, I think it is incumbent upon him to put it in the public domain. If he is just shot from the hip, then it is appropriate that the statement should be withdrawn, because it's neither serves the cause of public discourse and neither the cause of responsibility to make such irresponsible utterances.
अरविंद केजरीवाल रोज लगातार जिस तरह से गैर जिम्मेदाराना बयान देते हैं, हम तो ये मानते हैं कि ये भी उसी तरीके से देश को गुमराह करने के लिए एक उनका गैर जिम्मेदाराना बयान है जो इसको ट्वीट किया उन्होंने.
More news and updates will follow after a short break. Stay with us.